numbers. David, let's start with the overall performance on the markets today, over 1% in the red to end off the trading day. Some of the biggest catalysts that you saw here.
Well, the big catalyst was commodity prices and mining shares, which came under huge pressure. Nothing to do with South Africa, more to do with the US, where last night, Chairman Jay Powell spoke about or hinted that interest rates would be increased sooner than later. And a lot has to do with the success of the vaccination program. So America opening up, strong growth there. And of course, this will lead to interest rates perhaps going up earlier than expected. But to be fair, this is 2 years away. So I think markets discounting it. But it did impact on commodity prices. The dollar strengthened, as we've seen with the rand. But the other big story is that the Chinese have urged their state-owned companies, to hold back on speculating in commodities. And also there's talk about the Chinese releasing some commodities from their strategic funds. So commodity prices come under pressure. Platinum prices plunged, palladium price, gold price, copper price, all of these have come down, as well as the soft commodity prices. So that impacted on our mining segment, weighing very, very heavily on the index. So that was the main catalyst, but other catalysts as well.
Yeah, which we won't get into because of time, David, but I do want to get into some company news. Consol investing or reinvesting the 1.5 billion rand that it had shelved for South Africa. And I'm wondering if this is a trend we're going to be seeing with other companies as sentiment around the economic development of South Africa improves.
Well, I think it was more an anger decision. At the time, they didn't want to go start a plant and start producing bottles that weren't going to be filled with beer or whatever, simply because, all the alcohol sales had been banned. So I think perhaps the plans were still there. It's very, very easy to turn around, and you will find this happening. And as we start to get our vaccination program rolling out, we will start to find, once it gathers momentum, that the economies will start picking up and hopefully will emulate what's happening in the rest of the world. So it's still some time away, but hopefully we're going to get some more of these projects that were shelved, being taken forward.
David, let's talk about some international stories now. Coca-Cola losing about $4 billion in share price after Cristiano Ronaldo moved 2 of the bottles out of the way before he started his press conference. And I know you'd much rather talk about that 3-0 drubbing between Switzerland and Italy, but I do not talk soccer, David.
That's so unusual that should happen. I mean, because they remain sponsors. So why it would have affected it that much, I'm not too sure. Because maybe it was against the sponsors, but it's I'm not a great Cristiano Ronaldo fan. That's why I said let's rather talk about Italy, where proper soccer is being played. But you can't take anything away from his performance the other evening, and arrogance he's not short of that at all. But I hope I'm not upsetting a lot of his fans as well. But they look good. But I didn't realize that it's going to have such an impact on Coca-Cola, because I personally am a big Coca-Cola fan.
Nice to know, David. That is David Shapiro of Sasfin giving us a wrap of the markets, and I'm sure disappointing some Ronaldo fans with his comments that he's made.